everyone. Oh, sorry, my mic was mute. Good morning. Good morning. You're welcome. You're welcome, guys. You're welcome. Okay. Welcome, guys. Welcome. So, I apologize for sharing the link late, and let's give a little time, like 5 minutes more. Okay, 5 minutes more to get more people to join. Okay, thank you, Peculiar. Welcome, guys. Welcome, welcome. Today is going to be an interesting. We're going to have an interesting class because I've prepared an ample of things that we'll be learning, which is interesting, which is one of those core aspects of Node.js and backend in particular. And today's class is going to be. Um, we are not going to waste much of our time because of today is Saturday already, and I understand that we have things to do on Saturday. So please let's join. Yeah, good morning, Victoria. You're welcome. You're welcome. Glad you're here. Let's give others 5 minutes to join so we can start. We're already late, and I apologize for sharing the link late. Um, okay, good morning. Welcome, welcome. We are gradually, people are gradually joining. We have 4 minutes more so we can kickstart what we have today. Okay, welcome. Hope we're all excited. Are there people from other African countries aside Nigeria? Please indicate. Let's know what your time is. This morning, this is 11:47. I guess yours too should be around 11:47. Please indicate if you're from a different country outside Nigeria. Okay, assume we are all on the same time zone. Okay, you're welcome, Agatha. Welcome, Victoria. Okay, I think we are in the same time zone. How is Ghana? And how is your jollof? How is the beef for jollof? Okay, today is going to be a different section. We're going to discuss yeah, we're going to be discussing about database today, which is one of the most crucial aspects of back-end engineering because, like we all know, back-end engineering has to do with sharing of data, interaction of data, collecting data from the client side, storing it, also fetching those data to the front end side too. So we are going to discuss on that, and I'm going to also discuss more on structuring in Node.js and yeah, the way we interact with files in Node.js, how we export, import functions, which is another core aspect of back end, especially Node.js itself. So I think today is going to be a fun day full of knowledge. We're going to have a lot of experience. We're going to learn a lot. I assure you of that. Welcome. Okay, I think we have 1 minute to kickstart. So okay. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I really apologize for sending this note very late, and because of that, we won't be spending too much time. I will rush things, and I hope we all get to grasp those things effectively. So, if you're with me, please can you say hi? Let me know. Even if it's one person, we can continue from now. Please, if you're here, say hi. Okay. Um, Today we'll be discussing on three things, which is discussing on three things, which is Node.js modules and the require function. We also discuss on asynchronous programming patterns, which is we're talking about callbacks, promises, and async awaits, and also backend and database interaction with Node.js. This we are in week 3, and from the first week when we started, I think we have covered a lot. For the past 2 weeks, we have covered a lot. We have learned the history of Node.js, Node.js architecture, how it actually works. We've learned about the GitHub, how to create a simple Express application, how to interact with GitHub from our local repository down to the remote repository. So I think we have been able to cover up some important aspects of Node.js and backend in particular. So today we'll be moving forward with these things, and it's important we get familiar with asynchronous programming pattern and also node modules, because in Node.js particularly, what we mostly do is more of exporting files, exporting functions, and using those calling those functions, using them. You can actually write a function in a different file, call that function in another file. So that is just basically what goes on and on in Node.js. If you check most of these big code bases, there is a separate file where you implement your function, and there's a separate file where you can actually call those functions consecutively. So today I will be showing you on that. We'll be taking them one after the other, step after step. I would ensure I manage to cover up the most important parts, show you examples on how these things are being done. So, in order for you to follow me, in order for you to follow up follow up together, I will be sharing the link to this notes. It's actually on my blog. Please, you should do follow, subscribe to this YouTube channel, Spread Tech Africa, so you can keep getting updates and you keep learning new stuffs. So um, I'll be sharing this link with the PM. Okay, the link will be forwarded to the group. So I think let's get started. Um, let's get started. So this morning we'll be proceeding with um, Node.js modules and the require function. So module creation, I would take this as I'll be starting with the first header, which is module creation. Okay, it says any JavaScript file in Node.js is considered a module. You can create your own modules by writing code in a separate files and exporting functions, objects, or values that you want to make available to other parts of your application. Just like what I said earlier, you use your module to you use those functions you have created in a separate file. You make use of them in another file in areas where you want to implement those functions. So the second one goes to module export. Okay, it said to make functionality available from a module, you use the module export or export object anytime object anything assigned to module export or export will be available for import in other modules using the require function. So I'll be giving an example. I'll be giving an example. Let's create. I hope we're all following. I hope we're all following. Okay. Okay. Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. You are late, but we're just getting started. Good morning. Good morning. So okay, let me just go back let me go back to 5 minutes late. This is it. We we started with talking about the topics that we'll be treating today, which is node modules and the require function. So what this actually entails is in JavaScript, the way we actually write in JavaScript, whichever file, especially in Node.js particularly, we call them modules. These modules are files that could be exported. They are functions or even objects that you that are made available to be exported to be used in other aspects of our code. So first of all, you actually create a module which says here any JavaScript file in Node.js is considered a module. You can create your own modules by writing code in separate files and exporting functions, objects, or values that you want to make available to other parts of your application. So, just like I said, it is a way where you write your functions or you write whatever you want to execute, but you don't make use of them in that particular file. You can actually make use of them in that particular file too, but in this situation, you want to export those functions, like you want to export those functions to be used subsequently in other parts of your application. So that is just what this is trying to say. So we come down to our module export. The module export is actually saying to make functionality available from a module you want to use. So you use this command. You can see this command module.export or export object. Anything assigned to module export or export will be available for import. So once you export a file, if you want to make use of that file in a different folder, you have to import it into that particular folder. You want to make use of a function which you are exporting from a different file, you have to import it into the function. So I will be going with giving you an example. I have shared this link to Becky, and I hope she shares it to the group so that you can follow along. So this is it. When we'll be having our first example, let's create a file. By now, we should all have our good afternoon. We should all have um, our VS Code running. Hello, Victoria. Do you have your VS Code? Magai, do you have your VS Code? If we do, please can we indicate? Can we say hi? Because I would want us to code along. Hello, do we have VS Code installed? Hello. Okay, okay. Hi from Nigeria. You're welcome, Michael. You're welcome. Okay. So, um, so let's continue. Let's create a file. Let's call this file my function. My function .js. This my function.js would be we would be importing this. So what this does is we have a function here. We have a function here which console logs hello from my function. So I know we are all beginners, and some of us might be curious on why we are always using console log. Me as a beginner, then I was also curious as at why we console log everything in JavaScript in Node.js. So this is the reason. As a backend developer, right? As a backend developer, you are left with just the terminal. Let's say from the front end perspective, the front end guy, you are actually working on the browser, which you can execute a code and you can actually see those things you want to do on the browser. But as a back-end developer, you're actually behind the scenes, so you don't have an interface where you see those things. So in order to execute those data or see the result of what you're actually doing, you just console log it. You console log it and you can see it here on your terminal. So in this situation, we are actually we have a function. We have a function here. We have a function and we are exporting this function. This function is a simple function that just says hello from my function. So let's export this function. This is how we export the function. We have our module export and we call on this function here which we want to export. So if we come back to our note, we would see that after exporting we have what we have module import. I hope we are following. I hope we are following. I hope we're on track. Oh, my screen was not